most important aspect which makes a great estate in the London environment is maintaining quality and value as market conditions evolve.
And when you think about it, some of the great estates now, they've got everything they had at the beginning is what we aspire to now. For me, a great estate has got to be about almost going back and finding the things that made them work at the beginning and then creating a sort of contemporary version of it now.
The exhibition here is about the great estates of London. It was a fairly unique way of developing a city. Large aristocratic estates have developed large areas of central London. They've kept them over the years, 200 to 300 years, which means that they provide really good lessons in long-term sustainable development, how you create places in the city. And the importance of this exhibition is that we're looking at how they can influence contemporary developments.
I think stewardship is at the centre of everything we do. And when I say stewardship, I mean the sense that we're taking care of assets for future generations whilst making sure they serve existing generations.
One of the fundamental points for a great estate, whether it's one of the traditional ones or one of the new ones, is a long-term commitment, which could be rephrased as patience or stamina, because you never get it right from day one.
Have areas like the Olympic Village, redeveloped on old railway lands. These are large sites being developed at one time. So how do we learn from the original estates, how they did it, how they survived, how they created great places, and also from a developer's point of view, how did they make a profit out of it and how did they get so rich?
We're learning from the great estates of London, understanding what has worked.
Having a very long-term perspective, and that of course involves such things as not having the short-term pressures of being a listed company, of having a rather benign, almost paternalistic approach to the community and one's residents.
Well, for me, the most important aspect is the continuity of ownership of a distinct piece of land, which can go back over hundreds of years, and the way in which that piece of land has been developed.
One of the key things about the estates is that they create little villages, little characterful areas within London, which creates very much the sort of DNA of the capital.
I think certainly the architecture in particular and the design quality and the long-term management of those estates really has stood the test of time.
It's maintaining the balance of uses in the estate as conditions do go forward, staying in touch with the occupiers, but a long-term perspective is absolutely fundamental in the way that you asset manage the estate.
To be relevant in your time, to be relevant in the 21st century. And in that respect, we, like the other estates, are commercial, dynamic, contemporary organisations, constantly seeking to understand how we're received and how we're seen, what we could do better, and also learning from all sorts of other organisations, including other property companies.